Are you confused about who to listen to, where to listen to, what you need to do when it comes to manifesting? Well, if you want to know how to combat all that confusion, listen on.
Manifest mindset with me.
Hello and welcome to Manifest Mindset by Affirm Afform Attract. Your place to come to when you need tips and advice when manifesting. We are an affirmation channel and you can find all our affirmation videos on YouTube. Welcome back to Manifest Mindset with Affirm Afform Attract. I hope everyone is doing well. We are going to be talking about that confusion that is happening in a lot of people's minds, and that is, where do I go to learn manifestation? There is a sea of people talking about it. People who are talking from experience, people who have just jumped on the bandwagon, people who have always been interested in it, and with the growth of social media and platforms, everyone, including myself, has something to say. Now, it doesn't have to be as complicated as you might think. It really doesn't. But then again, it just depends on you as a person. I always say to people, take a step back, relax, and just chill. You can even affirm that you find the right people or persons to listen to and watch. It doesn't have to be that deep. But what I'm going to be talking about is things that you can put on your assessment list, if you like, when you are looking for people to listen to, whether it's a podcast and watching people's videos. Now, I'm very big on resonation, what resonates with you. I'm a big believer in that because I find that if you go with what feels very comfortable, what you can accept, you will get your answer. It doesn't mean that what you accept today, you will accept tomorrow, because we're changing all the time. Our viewpoints are changing and what we learn is changing. But if you start there, it will always steer you right. Even if you happen upon something and it was okay for a while and then it turned out not to be okay, but then you found something else, always take it as a sign as that was a path and a journey that led you to better things. So never think that, I wasted my time with this person and, this happened, because you never know down the line what is meant for you that could be good. Like, life isn't a straight road. We all know that. So again, don't see it as a negative. So find what's resonating with you. So when you're clicking through your podcast, your YouTube, and you listen to people, you're going to resonate. It could be their voice, it could be their tone, it could be how they speak, it could be any little thing. Just don't read too deep into it. Yeah, you might have a list of people. You don't have to listen to one person or two people. You can listen to as many people as you like. And as you go on, you probably will start filtering out, or you might end up listening to some people more than others. So let it naturally take its course. Like everything else in life, don't stress about it. Just if you have the belief that you're gonna find the right one, the right thing, it will always come to you. So that's my number one. When you're looking for something in life, whether it's on manifesting or anything that you want to do, trust the process, trust your inner guidance, and it will come to you. Now, I've been on this journey for a while and I've come across loads of people: Abraham Hicks, Joseph Murphy, Neville Goddard, and some YouTubers as well that I've clicked on and listened to and everything. And I have just picked up lots of information. I heavily listened to Abraham Hicks, so it's all about the vibration and feeling good and all of that good stuff. And I agreed with a lot of it because it made sense to me and it felt natural. And you also will compare your life. Like when you feel good, all of a sudden washing the dishes don't feel so bad. Hoovering up tight, when you feel good in yourself, these things don't seem so bad. But when you're feeling down and negative, everything seems 10 times as worse. So I kind of resonated when it came to people like Abraham Hicks. I've listened to other influencers, and you can tell where they kind of got their listening and their teachings from just by the way they talked and how they talked. And then I remember I went to Manifest Lottery, and I listened to this guy called Mark Houghton. He had a Facebook group, and I absolutely love the group. It's all changed now. It's not the same. And he would talk about, similar to Abraham Hicks's ways of teaching, of being in high vibration and all of that. So I listened to that. And when I started listening to him, I started to win quite regular on the scratch cards mainly. Not big monies. It was usually the same amount of the scratch cards of £10 or £20. I started to win higher numbers than I did before. So I knew to an extent it was working. I had a lot of work to do when it comes to manifesting, a lot of learning. So I wasn't winning big monies and all the rest of it. But I would listen to him mainly. Abraham Hicks always made, for me personally, always made things seem okay, and the way she spoke about certain things. And then I found Sammy Ingram. Someone introduced me to her, and I watched her channels for a bit. And she had a completely different approach. Hers was just basically a form. If you want something, you just affirm. You just affirm and keep affirming until it comes. And I really, really loved her approach on stuff, because it was what most people want. They don't want to go through this high vibration, being on this level. It is a lot, because it's almost like just learning quantum physics. A lot of people saw success in doing manifestations that way, which is just affirming, which I've talked about on this podcast. I love that affirming way of doing things, and visualization, also like telling the story, as opposed to Abraham Hicks with the high vibration, because it's not that it doesn't work. I think it all works. I think law of attraction, even though people say it doesn't work for them, it works. It's just that you didn't make it work for you because for some reason you couldn't. So what you do is you'll find an easier way, something that you can resonate with more. And that's what people do. They go out, they learn, and they find something that works for them. That's why some people can get things by saying it and letting it go. Some people will want to affirm all the time. Some people will need to script. Some people just do a collection of things. Now, when you first get into learning how to manifest, it's only natural that you want to absorb as much information that is available to you as much as you can, because you want to get it right. You want to do the right thing. Usually you come from a place of lack. You come from a place of desperation, and you really want to try and change your life because you're tired of living the life that you don't want to live. I've watched people who do crystals when manifesting. Crystals hold energy, they hold power. Certain crystals are better used for different topics of your life, whether it's money, love, relationships, etc. Now, I love crystals because I think they're pretty, but I don't use crystals to manifest because I didn't feel as though you need crystals to manifest. Why? Because you don't. I don't believe that it makes your manifestations any more powerful. I think that if you believe it, then it will be so. I don't doubt the fact that crystals have energy. I definitely believe they have energy. I mean, they use crystals in phones and all the rest of it in certain technology that we have. So it definitely has power. But it is, and you can use it for manifestation, but it is not needed to manifest. Scripting is another way of manifesting. I've done scripting. Do you need to script to manifest? You don't need to script to manifest. It's just a way that I found that when I was manifesting something specific, it helped me rather than just affirming it or saying it and letting it go. You also got the method of just saying it, whether it's once or twice or a period of days, and letting it go and letting it happen. You have that type of manifestation. You have visualization, where you play the scene out into your head and you imagine it, and you've got that type of manifestation that works for people as well. You got manifestations where you just keep affirming it and you can go to bed just before you go to bed and you fall asleep. That's supposed to be a very good way, because it seeps into your subconscious, because you're going to bed with those affirmations of what you want to affirm. Because remember, we do it anyway. When you're not having a good day and you're replaying that argument with that person, or you're replaying the fact that you have no money, we go to bed with negative thoughts about our lives anyway. And then we wake up sometimes feeling just as equally miserable. Now, I've given you a short list of ways that manifestation helps. These ways are techniques, and you have to find what suits you. You can mix and match if you like. Some things, like, do you know what? I fancy a free cup of coffee and I don't want to pay for it. You don't really need to script for that. You can just keep saying it and it will come to light. But you wanting to, you've got a big debt that you need to pay and you need money for it, you might feel as though just saying it isn't enough for you, that you have to script it. Anything that you want to do for whatever manifestation, you can choose. There is no right and wrong. Yes, you will come across people who will say to you, that isn't right, you have to do this, you have to do that to manifest. You might be thinking, well, this is, they're saying what I should and shouldn't do, and obviously it's worked for them and they've told us and they showed us, etc. The reason why it has worked for them simply because that is their belief system. So if their belief system is that you have to do it this way, otherwise it won't manifest, that is the story that they have told themselves. They've listened to whatever guru that might have said that, they've resonated with it, and then they now applied it to their life, and they've manifested what they've manifested using that particular way of doing it. All you have to do is listen to someone else with a different story and the way they manifested to know that no, it isn't the only way to manifest, to get things into your reality. What people need to understand is that when someone who has been through it found a way of coming out the other end, and they've used a certain way of doing it, to them that is the way. And so they will teach you that way, and that is absolutely fine. But when they tell you that is the only way, or that is the best way, then no, it was the best way for them. If you have been on this manifestation journey for a while, you will discover that there are so many techniques, water techniques, cinnamon techniques, and it's all very ritual. And these stuff is unnecessary. They're nice and they're fun, but they are not needed. However, there are people out there that just speaking things into existence is just not enough for them. They cannot grasp it. They need a ritual to help them manifest whatever they want to manifest. So if you come across someone who says, no, I manifest using the cinnamon technique, or I speak into the water and then I drink it and all the rest of it, and it's worked for me every single time, I wouldn't suggest that you say to them, don't say to them that's the wrong way of doing it, because if it's worked for them, then it's working for them. I mean, if you're having a conversation, you can say, you do know that you could just do it without it. Like, you don't have to use that thing. But if it's working for them, leave them alone. Because I think, when people are on their journeys, they will find different methods, and eventually they'll go from doing that to just speaking it into existence. So I don't want you to worry that if you're trying to manifest and people are doing all these different techniques, and whatever you're doing is you feel as though it's not working for you, then if you feel that you need to try these techniques, then try it. Or if you want to stick to what you're doing and just pursue more information on that, then do that. Like I said, it all comes down to what resonates with you. If you are someone who finds it very hard to just affirm it, I'm going to remind you again that we live an affirmed life anyway. We do that with the self-talk. We do that every time we complain to our family and friends about situations, how we don't have any money and we can't do this and we can't do that. So you speak things into existence without any rituals whatsoever. But because this is done on a subconscious level, a default level, we do not think about it. But the moment we start doing something deliberate, all of a sudden we complicate it in our heads, and sometimes we just have that slight disbelief that, oh, it can't be this easy. We live through life where life seems very hard, not just for us, for other people around the world. So to say that all I need to do is just say what I want, believe it, and keep affirming it, it's something that many of us cannot grasp. So it will make it easier for some of you to believe that when someone says, oh, this is the only way to get your manifestations, it's easy for you to kind of fall into that way of thinking, because the easy way is something that you just can't comprehend. But like I said to you before, go with whatever you feel that is true for you, because as you go along and you get more confident in manifesting, you will find and say to yourself, actually, I don't need this anymore, I don't need this anymore, and then your words will just be enough for you. I hope I have cleared up any confusion about what you have to do when it comes to manifesting. Number 1, go with what resonates with you. Number 2, trust the process. Number 3, don't be afraid to mix and match the techniques of manifestation that you want to do for the manifestations that you need. Number 4, there is no you have to do it, otherwise it won't come, simply because if we manifest anyway, subconsciously by default, especially when it comes to negativity, my life sucks, I never have any money, why can't I find a good man or woman, why are my relationships with my family broken, why can't I make friends easily? If you say that to yourself consistently, the world will repeat it back to you and show up in your 3D. So imagine if you then change those words into something that you actually want. Anyway, this is me signing off. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Don't forget to head over to Affirm Afform Attract on my YouTube. Click the link down below and subscribe for affirmations and some more tips and advice. To purchase some of the affirmations, don't forget to go on my Bandcamp. Again, the link is below. And I have new music out for meditation music or relaxing music, music if you want to say affirmations too. That is also, you can hear that on Spotify and other streaming platforms, and you can click the link below.